This is terrible. Okay, so right now I'm waiting to go home, but this traffic is absolutely horrendous. Um, but anyways, I'm gonna tell y'all about my day at work because that's what I was gonna do before. So let's see. What the fuck? Okay, so today was a long ass day at work, and it's like I guess I am low key irritated because I should have been home like 30 minutes ago, but I be trying to stay longer to help the new people. Um, but then it's like every time I try to be nice, I end up staying like extra long for some reason. So here I am, finally off work at 5:30. Today was kind of a rough, not a rough day, but I would say like easier than the past 2 days. So basically, this morning I was stupid and I gave the kids the wrong snack or whatever because the way this place does things is like they have a different snack you give the kids every day, and it's labeled like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So my slow self, I read the wrong day on the snack container, and I gave them the snack for Tuesdays whole time. Today is Monday, and I was thinking like, damn, that's crazy. So now tomorrow I got to give them Monday snack even though it's Tuesday. But luckily we only have a 3-day week this week. So time is definitely gonna go by faster. And then this weekend I'm gonna do my hair. Don't have any hairstyle ideas, so y'all should send some suggestions for that. But pretty much, I gave them their snack, and then it's like a lot of work for a teacher's assistant because I have to wait like a whole last 30 minutes until my teacher gets into the room, right? So I'm here, I'm trying to like take attendance, I'm trying to like get them to go potty, I'm trying to get them to sit on the carpet and read their book, I'm trying to do all this stuff. But it's like, I don't know, it's hard to do like multiple kids at the same time because the most I can have in a room by myself is like 10 kids for every one teacher or whatever. So it is like a lot of work trying to manage all these kids at the same time because you got to keep track of them, right? Because this kid could be over here dying, this kid could be drowning in the toilet, this kid could be falling off a shelf. So it's like you have to like constantly make sure your eyes are everywhere at the same time. So then after that, like the teacher reads them a book on the carpet, and of course, like the bad kids, like I said in my other live, the bad kids are always here. It doesn't matter like what day it is, what's going on. Like the bad kids are never sick, they never miss a day of school. And I hate that because it's like the good kids are always the ones that are out or they get picked up early. Then I'm like, no, because I like having like a good good and bad like ratio. Like I want to have like, you know, 5 good kids and then 5 bad kids, because then you can easily pair all of the good kids with the bad kids. And which is pretty ironic because when I was younger I hated that because I was a good kid and I was constantly getting paired with like all of the bad kids, and I would literally hate that because it's like I'm basically the role model for them. So it's like I have to watch like everything they're doing all the time, which like sucks, I guess, but I don't know. So after that we went outside. Actually, did we go outside? No, I don't think we didn't go outside in the morning because it was still like drizzling from the night before, because we've been having like some really bad thunderstorms lately, which is like normal I guess for this time of the year. But it'd be like 95 degrees outside, and then like, you know, that's how thunderstorms and all that stuff happens. But it's annoying because it's like I can't dress for outside because I have to wear like my work clothes and all that stuff. So it's like 95 degrees outside, and then it's like 70 degrees inside, right? And that's the thing that I hate about this classroom, because it is always cold. And like you wonder why kids are always like walking around with like sniffly noses and like their snot and boogers and stuff, it's because the classrooms be cold as hell. And I think they only do that for the teachers because they figure like the teachers are gonna get hot chasing the kids around. But no, that is why these kids are always sick, because the classroom be cold as hell, and then their parents don't know what goes on inside the school. So it's like, imagine sending your kid off to school and you're dressing your kids in like shorts and a t-shirt, and then you send them to school and it's freezing, and then all day your kid is complaining in class. They're like, oh no, it's so cold in here, I need a jacket, I need a tissue for my nose. So it's like every day the kids are complaining. So we always have like the same couple of kids. Like, I guess their parents are just stupid, they don't pack them like jackets or anything, so they'd be freezing to death. And like, we can't do anything about it because we obviously can't control the thermostat of the room or of the building, you know. So my opinion is that they should raise the temperature to match, not match outside, but like at least have it just a little bit higher, because I'm not trying to freeze to death every day. And as y'all can see, I'm wearing this cardigan and it's fucking 95 degrees outside, but I'm too lazy to take it off. Like, every time I leave work, I literally just jump in my car and go home. But no, after that we do like centers, I guess, and we don't really teach the kids anything. Like, this is a daycare, like we're not teaching kids like full sentences or fucking algebra, you know, like some parents want us to. But we aren't like a fancy type of daycare, okay? Like, this is just basic stuff. So all I do basically is like centers all day. And it's funny because like I thought like working at a daycare would be like, you know, constantly playing with kids, I guess, like just like with their toys, and you just watch them, and then like obviously you got to feed them and then take a nap. But I didn't know it would be like this, like structured, I guess, because it's basically just like real school. Like they have everything set on a certain time, they play for a certain time, have lunch at the same time every day. So it basically is like just to get them ready for kindergarten, obviously. But like, this place actually like plans stuff like every single week. They have a new like theme or something. So I don't know, I thought that was interesting because they have like superhero week, they got Western week, you know, water week. So it's like the kids learn things pertaining to what week it is. So I don't know, like that's a lot for me. But me personally, I don't know if I said this in another video or not, but me personally, I would not send my kid to a daycare in general, because just after seeing how some of the like teachers treat the kids, I guess, or like, I don't know, it's not like they're beating the kids, but I don't know, I just hate like when the good kids get punished. Because I remember when I was little, and like, you know, you would have like the bad kids, they would be talking or throwing stuff, and then the teacher's like, okay, pizza party is canceled, and next thing you know, it's like all the good kids are getting punished for the actions of the bad kids, right? And I would always hate that, because I'm like thinking like, damn, like I wanted a pizza, but now these bad kids like basically made me lose the pizza party or whatever. So that's like how it is with us too. Like, the kids will be bad and the teacher has to yell at them, and then she yells at like the whole group. She doesn't just yell at like the specific bad kids, you know, she'll yell at the good ones too. And I kind of hate that, because I feel like the good kids should just go sit on the other carpet and play with the toys, and then she should just yell at the bad kids. But obviously, like, I guess she figures like it's good to just punish them all as a whole so they can learn the lesson or whatever. But I never really understood punishing the good ones too, you know, because then the good kids are like, what's the point of being good if I'm always getting punished like the bad kids, you know? But today was pretty simple. Other than that, all of the crybabies weren't here today, because we have like specific kids who cry all the time because they're like only children. And if y'all didn't know, only children are like spoiled all the time, and seeing them like how they don't know how to share, it makes me like really thankful that I have a sister and like I knew how to share, and I grew up like knowing how to share. Because these kids that are like the only child, I can see that they're spoiled, they don't know how to share, and then they easily just cry to get whatever they want, because that's how like the parents deal with them at home. And it's really obvious, like you can tell that that's what the parent does. Like the kid starts crying, and then the parent is like, oh, what do you want, what do you want? And then they just give the kid whatever they want, so that way it can stop crying, you know. Am I finally moving, bro? I feel like I've been in the same spot forever. This traffic is ridiculous. But anyways, so both of the crybabies weren't here, and the funny thing is that both of them are like tattletales too, and I finally caught on to that, because I don't know if they think like telling on like another kid is gonna make the other kid get in trouble, or they just want to see the other kid be punished and them being like praised for it. Because one time, like, it'll be like a kid will be like washing their hands, and then they like splash some water onto the ground, and then the crybaby will be like, oh, he spilled some water on the ground, and I'm like, okay, it's no big deal, like we just wipe it up, you know. So it's like the crybaby wanted to see that other kid get in trouble, but like I'm like, it doesn't work that way, okay. So I don't know, it makes me like working with kids makes me like think about how I'm going to raise my own kids, because now, like, part of me is like, I always said, like, if I have birth, that's always like the most terrible pain ever, right? So some people, they say like, oh, I want 4 kids, but then they see how bad like childbirth is. Like, obviously it's painful, you could like die from it. So like once they see that and they only have 1 kid, they're like, oh, never mind, I don't want 4 kids, I want just 1 or whatever. So my plan, like, I always said I wanted 2 kids, so that way my family could be like even with like me and my husband or whatever. So now I'm like definitely having 2 kids. Like, I don't care if like the first one is too painful or like whatever, I'm still having that second kid, because I definitely see how like only childs are just like spoiled, and I don't know. So I definitely want 2 kids after seeing how that works out. And I also realized that I know that completely that I don't want boys, and I know you can't control like the gender of the baby, obviously. You can't pick, decide, whatever. But that's it. Basically confirmed that I also do want girls, because I know some little boys are like, you know, well-mannered, or like they're nice and polite and stuff like that, but realistically I feel like boys low-key just have more energy. And I know there are like some little girls that are like bad behaved, or like they're super playful and like really loud and stuff like that, but I would still take like an overly playful girl than like the same one in a boy form. I don't know, because boys just don't be listening, you know. Like, I don't know what it is, but we have like a whole bunch of boys. Actually, I think all the classes are set up like that, to where it's like way more girls than boys. Like, we might have like what is it, we might have like 10 boys and then like 5 girls or something like that. Like, it's like not every class is even. So it always happens to where like all of the girls, they get picked up first. Like, even if they're good or bad, they get picked up first, right? And then I'm here stuck with all of the bad behaved boys, and they be like hitting each other, they be trying to kick each other, play karate and Power Rangers, and I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with y'all hitting and kicking, okay? Like, I'm only one teacher, and then I gotta watch like 7 boys. That's just crazy to me, okay? So I be wishing that they got picked up earlier, but like I said, I realized why the parents leave their kids here so long. It's because they just want their kids to be here all day. Like, they're not trying to deal with these kids at home. Like, they know how rowdy their kids are, so they're like, oh, let me just wait till the last second to pick up my kid. But I don't know, I can see why it's like really hard dealing with like kids by yourself, especially if you're like a single parent. I can't imagine like being a single parent raising like these kids, bro. Like, some of these kids are just like unimaginable, like unbearable, and that they make me want to rip my hair out. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, to the point where the teacher was like crying because like she was like really frustrated one day. So luckily today was better than yesterday, but I don't know, I be getting a migraine after like, if a lot of the bad kids are in class, I be getting a migraine, and it's like, it's really bad because I shouldn't be taking like Tylenol every day because I'm already taking like a million other pills and all that. But yeah, it's super hard to deal with. And now, like, I remember when I said, like, when I worked at where did I work at? I worked at Aldi. If y'all haven't seen that video, for some reason it has like 2,000 views. I don't know why, but I worked at Aldi for only a month until, like, I think, actually no, I was at Aldi for like maybe a month and a half, and it's not like it was like super stressful. It's just really fast paced, right? And I was getting a migraine from that job. And then after I did that, I was like, okay, so I now have a new respect for like anyone who works in a grocery store who has to like stock all these shelves, because obviously, like, when you work in a grocery store, you're not thinking about like the people who like put the food on the shelves, okay? But every time I work at a job, I realize that it's like I gain a new respect for like the people who work there. Because after I worked at JCPenney, and I had to deal with like all these old people customers, like the old people complaining about every little thing, that's when I was like, okay, so now I gain respect for anybody who works in like a store in the mall, right? And then I worked at Aldi, and now every time I'm going to get groceries at like any type of grocery store, like, I make sure to, like, I mean, I was already doing that before, but I would put stuff back on the shelves, like where I got it from, if I didn't want it anymore. Or I don't know, just keep things organized, not make the store so messy, because I know somebody's gonna have to like restock the shelves and like, you know, put that stuff back. And now working with kids, it's like I have a new respect for teachers, because I always knew teaching was a hard job, but like dealing with kids all day is crazy. And then I'm here like using my voice talking for 8 hours a day. That's crazy. And now my throat be hurting so much. So now it's like I gotta be drinking something every 5 seconds, so I don't lose my voice. And I be taking hauls every 5 seconds. Like, if y'all would see my lunchbox right now, this lunchbox, I got like 50 hauls in there, bro. And now I'm like constantly buying them too. So it's like every time before work, I be having to go to like Walgreens or CVS, buy a pack of hauls, or else my voice will literally kill me. And it'd be so funny too, because every time I open it in front of the kids, because I don't really care if the kids see it or not, but every time I open it, the kids are like, is that candy? Is that food for me? My mom tastes those too. And I'm like, bro, this is hauls, because my voice be hurting from yelling at y'all every damn second of the day, you know? Because kids be asking like some of the funniest questions, bro. What else? Oh, yesterday we had like a fire drill, and that was like my first fire drill, like, you know, at the school or whatever. So we had a fire drill, and obviously, like, I'm here thinking like we're gonna be outside for like 10 minutes. The fire truck's gotta come, like, you know, check everything. Like, I thought it was like gonna be official like that, because even like with like normal schools, like, you're still out there for a while because you have a lot of people to get out of the building. But this place is like smaller, so it literally only took like 2 minutes. We were outside for 2 minutes, and all the kids, they keep their ears covered, because obviously, like, you know, fire alarms are super loud, right? But we have this new girl in our class, like, she just started like in the middle of the year or something, and that was like her first fire drill ever, because kids are only like, you know, 3-4 years old. So that was her first fire drill like ever, and she was like, I could tell she was having a panic attack, because she was like all their ears were covered, like they were covering both their ears, but like her face was turning red. She was like hyperventilating. She was like crying. She was like, what's that sound? What's happening? Like, she was freaking out because she doesn't know what a fire drill is. So then we go outside, we gotta like sit on the curb for like, you know, 2 seconds and take attendance and all that stuff. And I'm trying to comfort her because this little girl is freaking out. She's having a panic attack, you know? And all the other kids are used to it, because I don't know how often they do fire drills or whatever, but like, I don't know if it's like once a month or whatever. So I'll have to ask about that. But like, she was like crying, bro, and her face was so red because she's like really pale. So she was crying, and I had to explain to her, I'm like, yes, this is just a fire drill. Like, this is what we do. Like, occasionally we have to test the fire alarms to see if they're working. We got to see how everybody would get out the building in case there's a fire. This is just practice in case there is a real fire. So I'm there explaining this stuff to the little girl, and she's still having a panic attack because she's like still shaken up about the fire alarm that went off, right? And then it's like as quick as we went outside, we go right back inside the classroom, you know, and then the fire drill is over. So then all the kids go back to normal because they obviously like know what a fire drill is, and they're used to like the loud noise and blah blah blah. And I obviously, like, the one smart girl in the class, she's like, oh, is the fire alarm blinking for people who are like deaf? And I was like, yes, that's why it flashes, so we can see it. But then the other little girl, she's still like sitting at the table. She's like, she still has her hands over her ears. She's still like really red. She's crying. There's like snot coming out her nose. I'm like, it's okay. Like, it was just a practice in case there's a fire. This is what we have to do. And you know, like, some kids don't really understand when you explain things. So it's like I'm there explaining to her the same thing like 5 times, right? And then she finally calms down after having a panic attack. And then she's like, oh, that was scary. Like, I was scared. Why is it so loud? And then I have to be like, oh, it's so loud because everybody in the building needs to hear it. In case there's a fire, we need to get out the building as fast as possible, you know? So I had to like hurry up and like work and get her calm, because all the other students, like I said, they already been known what a fire drill is. So I don't know. So that was scary too, because obviously like I want her to be comfortable, because like this is like her first time having a fire drill. So hopefully next time she's actually like used to it, I guess. But I don't know, because you know, I feel like sometimes like you have a fear that never goes away. So she could be like afraid of loud noises, because you know how like a lot of kids are afraid of like thunder and lightning, you know? And obviously like a fire drill, you know, you learn what it is, and then you aren't scared of it anymore. But for her, like that was like, I could tell that was a genuine like panic attack, because usually like I could understand like a kid who can be like, you know, like just crying, or they could be like, oh, like what's that noise, you know? But like I could like was hyperventilating, so I could tell that was a panic attack. And I haven't had like really bad panic attacks, but I know like what it feels like to have anxiety and like be nervous about stuff. So I just tried to calm her down as best as I could. And like she's like my favorite kid in the classroom too, because she's like a really sweet little girl. Like she's still learning how to write her name and all that stuff. So I don't know, like whenever I see a kid like scared of something or in trouble, I be trying to help them as best as I can, because I don't like seeing kids cry, you know, like especially when it's like for a real reason, because I hate like when crybabies cry, because they be crying over nothing, or they be crying that they don't get like a toy, or like, you know, like some kind of candy or whatever. But like when a kid is crying for a genuine reason, like you can actually see the fear in their eyes. That's when I'm like, okay, like I need to fix this problem so they can stop crying. But I don't know, I hope she like gets over that fear, because we're gonna constantly have like fire drills every month, you know? So I don't know. And then I think like in like August and September, that's when we get like some new kids as well. So then I'm not really excited for that, because then it's like I have to like teach them our classroom, and I gotta show them all these new stuff too. But that's the process of like being a teacher, you know? So I don't know, this class right now is like probably like the most rowdy group of kids that I've ever dealt with, though, because I've done like some teaching in like a summer school before, or I've done like a little bit of tutoring and stuff like that when I was in high school. But like teaching like a group of kids where like literally almost all of the kids are like, you know, bad behaved, it's insane. It's like a brand new experience for me. But I don't know, that was it for this work story time. I'm gonna be doing this every day on my drive home, so if y'all want to put your post notifications on so you can see when I go live again. That'll be good, because people actually like the lives for some reason. Me personally, I don't think I've ever watched a live on YouTube. Like, I be watching like TikTok lives, but YouTube lives is something else. And now I'm home and I'm gonna eat and shower because I'm fucking starving. Lord have mercy. My car is old. I need a new car. Ugh. My phone is overheating, bro. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do these lives every day when it's 95 degrees in my damn car. But okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.